All right, folks, since I'm revamping my channel to make it more specific to my mobile home, I guess it's time to really take a couple of tours outside and inside. All right, this is a 14 by 56 mobile home. I purchased this home in 2001 for, I don't know, back then I think it was a good price for about $20,000. Had it installed on an acre of property. A couple of things I did, I'll show you on the outside, just to modify a couple of things. This entrance facing pretty much the south side. It's nice to be able to, come up to your door and not get soaked during a rainstorm or sleet or anything like that. So the two things that my dad and I did on this side is we created this entrance here. And for some reason, I guess I just never got to finishing on the inside, bringing the vinyl siding in just to go up and around. That is going to be next on one of my projects. The second thing that we did is underneath there is access to the well pump and the filter. And we added that little lean-to on in a wall on the back side. This just to keep some of the leaves coming in. So if I need to get under there and change things, during a storm, the filter I only do once a year, that keeps me covered right there. So let's walk around. Let's see, these windows let's see, these three are, I replaced a lot of the old windows. They had the double set. There was an outside, inside window, and they were not really good at all for keeping the heat in. Now on this section here, one change I did, and I guess I could have kept it the way it was. Originally this had a 3-window set. There's like a little shelf, and maybe I should have kept that after all, but the condition of the windows were not all that great. You could actually have, it was this thick gaps around the outer window letting a lot of the heat out. I ended up replacing, taking out those 3, closing this in with 1 window. Living in Maine with winters, I really wanted more to keep the heat in. Now, going a little further on the north side, we'll get past my bus here. Actually, I'm going to start with right here. Now, what you're seeing from here is a little mini deck, steps here, and I'll show you the steps on the other side. This is a mudroom I added. There's a set of double glass doors there. The reason I added that is, again, to give me a little bit of a buffer in the, mostly in the winter time, to keep the heat from going all outside. And again, because this building was really not insulated very well, and I'll get to that, I'll explain that in a minute. Now the property here, there's been some trees taken down that were just, really messing things up. A pine tree here. This stump was another pine tree. So maybe my grass will actually improve with that gone. Now on this side here, now you can actually see the mudroom. It's a spring project to move a deck over. This is where we added the mudroom on. Previous, it was just a few steps going up to the door with a little bit of a ledge. These steps were over here, and this was sort of an open deck. The only thing that we didn't do, and I didn't anticipate this, is the wind comes in this direction, the rain, the snow, so it's been causing a problem over the year. So next spring, or at least when the wood hopefully comes down in price, what I'm pointing to is I want to add or extend just a roof over this section to help stop some of the wind and rain from coming down, hitting the door. This is causing some excess water problems inside there. So this kitchen window has not been replaced. Neither have these windows here. Fortunately, this house did come with a central AC. I had a problem one year, so I actually had to get a couple ACs to run until we figured out why that wasn't working. Has something to do with the furnace unit inside, so I have this window one, which eventually I'll really need to take out because it doesn't need to be in there anymore. All right, so this is just the back of the property. As far as some of the work that we've done on my property, right down here, there was a tree, also right here. I really wanted to keep this tree open and growing a little bit better. I got a few in behind I want to take down spring because this is a really nice tree in the spring, summer, and fall when the leaves are all filled out. Now, since my home is not on a public system, my sewer system and drainage field is actually all right here and out to the drainage field here. Obviously you can't see that. The reason I have the fencing here, which goes from the door you saw on the other side out to that fence out there, that's a fence for the campground. It runs the whole length. And then this fence here comes from the corner of my house. It goes to right about this corner, and that fence separating myself from our parents' property goes out there. And I inherited Bandit. He's a Yorkie mix from mom and dad. After mom passed away last year, he came with me. So, oh, my big project on the outside. 2 big projects we did. I don't know if I have some photos from that time or not. If not, maybe I'll throw a couple up. One of the things that we found, well, this is 2 things. One, we had to replace the roof next year. It was not in good shape. We took the old shingling off, and I can't remember the layer of this stuff. It's a rain shield that goes on top of the roof, and then we put the shingles, which I believe we got 25-year shingles, so I'm good for another several years. All around the building, I had another issue. Underneath all this vinyl siding is some kind of black material that, when it got wet, which it did over time, it literally just crumbles in your hand. So my dad and I, and uncle or two, we had to take all the vinyl siding off all the way around the house. And what we did is we put plywood. The insulation behind there wasn't all that great, and I wish I'd done a better job at the time. So I was pressed for time and money. So we did a layer of 1/4-inch plywood, or sorry, 1/2 inch all the way around. On top of that, I did fan fold insulation. Maybe not the best, but it does help. And then we put the vinyl siding back on all around the house. Oh, yeah. A little more update on these buildings here. Of course, when I moved in, none of these buildings were here. The first one that I got was my dad and I building up this carport here, and that housed my truck to try and keep it dry and you know, the snow off it in the winter. The second one I think was this building here, and then the Tim building. The fourth one last year we moved over was this. Now what I will be doing is consolidating a number of these buildings because I really have too many and don't need them all. Eventually, this building actually no longer houses my items. I'm just letting a friend keep their items around because they're actually going to probably be taking this next spring. This building here, my goal is, if we get a decent, heavy enough construction vehicle, I want to push this building back further because it's just right for, you know, lawnmower, snowblower, things like that. The reason that I want to push this back further is working on this tin building here to make it into my workshop. I did put a window on this side. This was the only location I could put at based on the build. And it would be nice if this building is gone or further back. That'll have a nice view outside here in the summertime. There is, you can't see it that well. There is a small building in the back that I will be tearing down and potting with that. Folks, just a reminder for subscribers that are already on the channel, and if you're missing the bus videos, I'll put a link in the description below. I have moved my videos to a new channel called EJ the Bus. When you go there, it might say there's no videos, but what you'll just need to do is click on the playlist and you'll find them there.